And we are live. It's your favorite insurance agents, Darnold Jr.
And Michelle DeSel, the Wealth Tattletale.
That's right. If you are watching this live, go ahead in the chat, type hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay. We appreciate you for jumping on. This is the show where we learn about financial literacy. And that's a huge subject nowadays because I feel like school doesn't teach any of that.
Exactly.
And so,
Right.
and a lot of times parents don't teach their kids because if they don't know, then how can they teach people?
Exactly.
So that's the purpose of this show. We have a very, very special guest. She's
Yay.
talking about financial planning, especially in the retirement and investing. So this is the show. If you have any inkling of want to know any of that, this is the show to tune into. So let's go ahead and get lit. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our guest, Debra Hartsfield.
Yay!
Hey, Debra, how's it going?
Hi. It's going good. Glad to be here.
Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with us.
I'm excited that you're here. Please tell us who you are and what you've been doing.
Well, my name is Debra Hartsfield, and I'm a financial planner. I'm a certified financial planner. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I'm just excited about sharing something about financial planning and being a resource for anybody that calls in.
Fantastic. Love it. Well, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to help so many people tonight because you have answers and we got questions, honey.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you, first of all, please explain to our audience exactly what a registered investment advisor is. How did you become that, and what made you want to become an advisor?
Okay. Well, a registered investment advisor is someone who has been, if you said, certified by the Securities Exchange Board to offer investment advice to individuals. They don't affirm that you know anything, but you do have to come through the SEC in order to be a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas. What this allows me to do is to be able to talk to people about money. Talk to them about how to accumulate it, how to keep it, how to spend it. Just we get to talk about money. We can start very basic with I don't have any. How do I get started to somebody who comes in with money that they want to invest? Then we help them invest it according to, their risk tolerance, their goals, just kind of what they hope to accomplish in life with their money. So I would say that. How did I get started? I started out as a budget advisor because actually I'm an industrial engineer by degree.
Wow. She just got all kind of smarts going on.
I was sitting in a meeting as a part of a project that we were doing to do some efficiency studies at a credit union. I heard a guy from Consumer Credit Counseling Service talking about money and what they did, how they helped people. And in that meeting, I said, you know what? That's what I would like to do. It's what I want to be when I grow up. Right? So I researched that, started out as a budget advisor with CCCS, then decided I've got too much education. Perhaps that's not right, but just decided the education I had, because by then I had my MBA in finance.
Right.
I wanted to do more with money beyond just helping people create a budget and get out of debt.
Yeah.
So I began to pursue that line of thinking as it relates to finances, and it has taken me through the years to where I am now. I actually have my own company. I work as an investment advisor specializing in retirement planning, so helping people reach retirement goals, but working with anyone who has money and wants to invest it wisely.
Well, I mean, you're a rock star to me, Debra, okay? Absolutely. I want to know this. The average person is going to come to you with limited funds. And so when you talk about the basics, most times that's what people are going to be introducing, to you. Where would you tell them to start?
I think everybody should have goals. Behavior is goal directed, I believe. And so you need a goal. And I think that goal will become a driver for you. I would also say time. Time is both your friend and your enemy. It's your friend if you go ahead and get started, it's your enemy if you procrastinate.
Ah,
So
Wow.
I would say get started. One of the things I hear people, they'll tell me, when I get some money, I'm going to come see you. And
yeah.
in my mind, I'm saying, but you're not going to get the money to come see me because you need to start now. So I
Wow.
think
Mm,
time would be something that a person really needs to be aware of. So having smart goals, keeping in mind time can be both my friend and my enemy, and
mm,
then just get started. It might be saving a little bit, just
yeah,
$5 a week,
yeah.
Wow.
$5 a paycheck. I mean, if you just get
Mm.
started, there are funds out there that we can get you invested in that then your money can grow.
Wow.
So it's kind
You've
of what.
just taken a lot of the intimidation out of it for people. When
Absolutely.
you say that people don't have to come up with large sums of money, that you can start where you are, you take the sting out of it and the fear. So that's good stuff.
Absolutely. So, if somebody's like brand new, straight out of high school, straight out of college, what is your best advice for somebody like that?
Well, first thing I would say, just on that premise of where they are, that they need to have goals. I think goals are very important. There needs to be something that they're working towards other than just, I want to save some money. We need to be saving money for something. And then I would suggest, and people don't like the B word, but I think you do need, in
Budget.
fact, I know you need a budget.
Budget,
It
yes.
Yes.
might not be something that you look at every week or every day, every month, even, but definitely quarterly. You should look at a budget because we need the extra income. I need you spending on less than what you make. And even a person in high school can do that. And then get started saving. If they have a job and they're in high school, they can open an IRA
Wow.
because IRAs have to be funded with earned income. So if they're earning income,
What?
they can open it. It will start off as a custodial account if they're younger
Okay.
than
Yeah,
18,
yeah.
but they still can get started doing that. And the beauty of that is with compounding, they can rack up a lot of money by the time they're retired without even thinking about it. So I would say that I would tell the person, set a goal. I would say have a budget. If you're living at home with your mom, maybe you can put all your money.
I know, right?
Right. That's the nice thing.
Engage.
But
No expenses,
yeah,
right?
Right.
put a part of the money away. I like to have an attitude of give, save, spend. I heard
Mm.
a
Give,
Love
minister
save,
say
that.
spend.
that, and I like that very much. Dr. Evans, as a matter of fact. And so, if they just have that, put a little away for giving, put a little away for save, and then give themselves something they can spend. That's a real easy budget for somebody right out of high school. Um, so that's what I would recommend.
Okay, most times people are focused on making more money, but they're not focused on sustaining the wealth, right? And so, and I can attest to, knowing how to go make the money, but then you did not have the tools or the resources of knowing what to do with the money that you make. Can you shed some light on that?
Well, again, that what I said would work for high school students will work for adults as well. So
Okay.
give, save, spend. And you need to put some money away for giving, whether you give that to a religious organization or where you have some favorite charity, whatever. I think you should allocate money for giving. Then
Yeah.
you should allocate money for saving and then spend the bulk of the time on spending. How do you spend the rest of your money? I would always, if I'm employed and my employer has a retirement account, it's not even a thought. I know I'm going to contribute to that retirement account, especially if they're going to match me, because I don't
Mhm.
like to leave money on the table.
Right.
So I think you have to think of yourself as your own CEO of your company, of your finances. And as a CEO, I wouldn't leave money on the table. So I would always invest in the retirement plan that is available to me. Um, and then I think just making wise decisions as to what your other investments are. as it relates to a home versus renting, as it relates to buying a vehicle versus leasing. What some of those you want to do some traveling, that's a goal and needs to be set smart goals for it. These are the things that I would say to someone. So if you know how to make money, now we just need to make sure we don't spend it all. We
Mm-hmm.
have to become future oriented. And I think people are not future oriented.
Yeah.
It's all about, well, I don't want to say that. It can be about me right now and what's going on, but there is a future out there and you need to be planning for it. So planning, financial planning becomes a key component of a person who's figured out how to make money, but now just needs to know how to save it and spend it wisely.
That's awesome.
Some good stuff. That's some really good stuff.
So, what's a story where you started with them in financial planning, where they start off one way and then they ended up another way, all because they got your help? And you don't have to use specific names, but just a general story.
Good. Well, I'm thinking of a client who, and there were several of them, and my firm had gone out and spoken to them about doing financial planning, and only one really took hold of it. And today he's a millionaire. So I'm very excited about that. I know, right? But he really took it to heart. He took his money, he began investing, he took advantage of the company matching in the retirement account that he had. He didn't live above his means. He and his wife lived within the income that they had, always saving some of it and investing it, and they got the help they needed. He worked with a financial advisor, and some people say, I can't afford them. I'm not going to pay them to tell me how to save. I know how to save on my own, but you don't. And
Mhm.
so he recognized that there was
That
a
was matter of
cost
fact.
to yeah, he recognized there was a cost to having a planner work with him, but he worked with a planner. And like I say, today he's a multimillionaire, and he was just a regular person. I say regular person. He's in a good profession and is always paid well, but he just used his money. And I spoke to him one time and said, how are those other guys doing? And he goes, they're struggling. And they
Wow.
were all making the same kind of money, but he and his wife just decided that they would live on less than what they made. They took advantage of the retirement accounts that were available to them and got the company matching all these years. And today, really, he can retire and he can spend his money however he wants because he's not going to run out of money based on all of our analysis, and he can help his children. So I would say he would be like a poster child for me, for someone who took to heart the importance of setting goals, living on less than what you made, working with the financial planner, and investing wisely, taking advantage of what the employer had to offer and staying that course. And yeah, he's a multimillionaire. Very proud
Wow.
of him.
So hold on. I can say that Debra is a millionaire maker.
I like it. That's your new nickname.
Yes.
Debra the Millionaire Maker.
Millionaire
And
maker.
it's not a lie.
Right?
Are we lying? Are we lying?
Yeah.
That's exciting. I bet that's a really good feeling for you.
It's an excellent feeling for me. And there are others that are just not as far along as he did, but
Yeah.
you can't beat it following that formula, if you will.
So you also have another specialty, and I know we work with this at our firm with doing um, retirement planning, but that's also one of your specialties. And I would like for you to shed some light on the method that you use for the retirement planning, and do you do seminars? What's the structure that you use for these particular clients?
So I've done seminars, I've done meetings at various organizations to talk about the importance of wise money management, and then to talk about retirement, because retirement planning isn't a switch that you just automatically turns on. Now I'm 65 or I'm 66, tomorrow I'm retired. No, it actually is something that starts much earlier. So I would always say, really about 40, 45-ish for sure, you need to become serious about retirement planning, because in reality, 20 years isn't really that much time. And we've said time can be both your friend and your enemy.
Mhm.
So, when working with someone for retirement planning, either through seminar, through just one on one by way of referral, through my actually doing marketing to acquire clients, when we get someone in, we come in, and the first thing we want to do is kind of talk about goals, because figures and facts, that's all okay, but people are really more interested in doing things that are going to bring them joy, that's
Right,
going
right.
to help them feel good about what it is that they're going to accomplish. And so we like to talk about those life goals, because I said behavior is goal directed. So if in a goal setting session, and we do go through that, and sometimes two sessions, to try to figure out what would make this person happy, what would they want to do, what does retirement look like when you get there, and are you willing to be future oriented and start now? And so we start, like I say, really should probably get started about 40, 45 for sure. Start to put away money with the future in mind, that retirement is something you're actually going to be doing. So being a CFP, we actually have a process that we follow for retirement planning, with it all culminating in the fact of how much money do we need to put away, and how do we need to invest it? What rate of return do we need to get on it so that we can reach the goal? So the planning is key, because it then tells me on the investment side, what kind of investments can this person be in? And I want to take a point of preference and say this. Sometimes people will take a risk tolerance questionnaire and they are very conservative. I mean, they would keep all of their money in CDs and a passbook savings account. But the reality is, after we go through the analysis, we find they've got to be more aggressive. One of the things I have found is, by doing the planning, it gives people the courage, if I will, of a conviction to be a little bit more assertive with their investing. I must say, on the other hand, I've had some clients that have been rather older, so closer to retirement, that are far more aggressive than they need to be. And in a period like what we're going through now and what we experienced during COVID,
Yeah.
the investment portfolios were too aggressive.
Ooh.
Because when the market goes down, it can take anywhere from 3, maybe 5 years to fully come back.
Yeah.
And for a person that's that close to retirement, that isn't a good look. And so that's why I would say you have to be careful with the asset allocation, but that'd be my take.
And that's what I was about to ask about. Like the big buzzword right now is recession.
Yeah.
Recession, recession, recession. Like the stock market is dropping, everything, cryptocurrencies are dropping. Like, what is your perspective? How do we handle it? How do you prepare for recession? Like, what are your thoughts overall as far as how people prepare to invest and save for retirement in an area where we're going through a recession?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what comes to my mind immediately is you prepare for war in a time of peace.
Hmm.
So what I do with my clients is, we actually go in and do an asset allocation based on their risk tolerance, based on their time horizon. We select very good investment vehicles for them, looking at how they performed in the future and more recently. So in a time like this, we're actually holding. We're not panicking. We're not going out and buying new investment vehicles, because when we put that plan in place, we took into consideration that there would be zigs and zags in the market.
Hmm.
And I wanted to remove the emotion. What planning does is it removes the emotion out of investing in a time like this. So you're not running around going, oh, the sky's falling in, and you're selling out all of your investments and going to the sideline until things get better, because the market turns very quickly and things could get better in a day. And it would be difficult for you to get back in the market and ride the wave. So my counsel would be, and I'm sure many financial advisors are talking to their clients, if we've done the portfolio construction correctly, we need to stay the course.
That's awesome. So
Great
awesome.
insight.
Well, if
Great
you're
insight.
watching and if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat, and Debra would be happy to answer those questions. But while y'all are typing your questions in the chat, how can people reach out to you and get a hold of you if they want to get your investment advice?
If they want to, they can go to my website, which is dphfinancial.com. And there's a place where they can actually request a consultation, and I'd be more than happy to talk to them. Or they can call me at 713-828-7516. Just let me know they listen to the show and they have some questions. I'd be happy to spend some time speaking with them.
Deborah, repeat your phone number again, please.
It's 713-828-7516.
All right. It looks like one of our listeners has a question.
Mhm.
Go ahead and type in the chat your question. We're waiting for. There it goes.
Okay.
So his question is it good to invest in cryptocurrency? That's another buzzword, another hot topic right now.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
Looks
Well,
like you have a lot of opinions on that.
my opinion right now, it's very early in its history, if you will, and so I would say that money invested in cryptocurrency should be money that you can afford to lose, because I consider that a speculative investment right now. Uh, I would prefer, and for clients who just wanted to get in on the crypto wave, that you do it in some ETF as opposed to buying it directly with the company.
Wow.
And you can get ETFs that will have Bitcoin in there, and I forget the other one that starts with E, but it will have those in there. So just kind of mitigate your risk, because maybe when one of them is down, the other might be up a little bit. And so the loss won't be as significant by holding just one. And this is very similar to holding stocks too. I don't recommend holding a big stock portfolio in just one stock. You need to diversify. And so I would just say diversify your investment in cryptocurrency. Treat it as though it is a speculative investment, which ideally means that you have certain things in place. You have an emergency fund in place, so that if something happens, you could weather it for 6 months and not change your financial plan. You are investing in your employer's retirement account if it matches you. And then if you got extra money left over after that, then I think cryptocurrency might be something you could invest in, but again, treat it as speculative. That is, if I lose the money, I gain the experience, but it won't keep me from achieving my long term financial goal.
That's huge. Good advice.
Absolutely.
And
he has another
he
question.
has another question. He said, how about investing in real estate?
Real estate.
I guess that's a broad
I,
question.
yeah, no, I mean, I think real estate has a place in a client's portfolio, generally not more than, for me, this is just for me as an advisor, probably not more than 5 to 10%. And the reason for that with me is a person's home is real estate, and it's generally one of their bigger investments. So they don't really need a lot more real estate. But I do think holding some, say 5 to 10% of real estate. And again, there are some very good REITs out there that you can invest in. There are also organizations that specialize in like apartments and the like. So I don't say not invest in it. I think it can be a good investment for the right client. And but I do suggest you kind of get yourself some diversity in there by using perhaps a REIT as your investment choice, unless you want to be on the landlord side or the Airbnb side and actually have property that you rent out as an income generator.
Right.
And for those that don't know, I know what a REIT is, but what exactly is a REIT?
It's a real estate investment trust. So it's made up of several investment products, all grouped together, very similar to a mutual fund, in which you're buying a piece of the REIT. You're not buying the whole thing. You're one of
Right.
several owners. So therefore, this is a way to diversify your holdings, but still have exposure to the real estate market.
Excellent. Well, he said, thank you so much. And now I know where I should put my money in now. So cool. Exciting. This is what it's about. It's about helping people.
I know this has
So-
been an amazing interview. I am so grateful that you decided that you would allow us to pick your brain, Debra. This has been amazing. You have a wealth of knowledge, and I can listen. I can listen to you talk all night, girl.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
guess
you.
what? It's past 20 minutes, and I told you wouldn't even recognize it.
Hello. Thank
It
you.
flies
Thank
by.
you.
So let's see if we have another question. We do have another question.
Mhm.
What sector of stocks are good in a recession?
I would say utilities, because utilities do not play by the same rules as the rest of the market in terms of the business cycle. You're always going to need electricity and water, phones, those kinds of things. So
Mhm.
utilities, I think, are a good bet during a recession. But again, overall, your portfolio should be so allocated that it can handle any particular move in the market, whether it's zigs or zags, whether it's recession or whether we're coming out of a recession. But just in terms of something that seems to be pretty stable during times of recession and inflation, I would say utilities, utility stocks, or me, I would prefer you use a mutual fund or an index fund.
Do you think commodities are good to invest in also?
I think commodities can be good, yes, but I think you need a certain knowledge level to deal with commodities. I think, again, for me, that errs on the side of being a little bit speculative. And so, again, you need to make sure you've got your emergency fund, you're invested in your employer's retirement account up to the point that they match, you're covered there, and you've got this extra money that you can put into commodities, silver, gold, the like.
I mean, it's free investment advice and everything. I mean, Debra is killing the game tonight.
Yep. So if you ever need anything financial planning, retirement, investing related, reach out to Debra Hartsfield.
Yes.
She already dropped her information, and we'll put in the comments in the description later. So we appreciate you for your time. You've dropped a wealth of knowledge. We do appreciate you for everything. And so, any last things you want to share with the audience?
I would just say get started. I really believe time is your friend and your enemy. If you've been waiting to start doing something with your finances until things get better, I need you to drop that mentality. Start thinking of yourself as the CEO of your finances and that you need to get started now.
Excellent. Good
Very
words of
good.
wisdom.
Very good advice. Very good advice. Again, thank you so much for getting lit with us tonight, Debra. This has been a gem of an interview. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, have a good evening. Wow.
I know. This has been amazing.
It's been a great interview.
We made it. We made
It
it.
really has. It really has. And I was taking notes. I mean, I
Absolutely.
walked away with some gems,
Absolutely.
some great nuggets, some things that I can, add to the things that I need to do. And I'm going to be calling her up myself.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, just get started. It doesn't matter
Just-
your
yeah.
age. It doesn't matter where you're at in life.
Right.
Just
And
get it
people should
started.
really remember what she said because it's so true. Time can be your friend or your enemy.
That's right.
So.
We want it to be our friend.
Yes, we do.
So,
Yes, we do.
so that's the purpose of the show. So it could be our friend too, because the time value of money is no joke. Like the sooner you start, the better off you're going to be in the long run. So definitely start. And so we appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you got any value out of today's episode, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. If you know of anybody that would benefit from hearing about the show, go ahead and share it with them. Let them get the wisdom and the knowledge that Debra just shared with us. And so we appreciate you for jumping on. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to talk specifically about the stock market and just like the basics of trading in the stock market.
That's very interesting stuff.
I had a ton of questions about that, and I was like, tune in next week.
Well, how can they reach you?
Well, you can reach me on Instagram at Darnold Jr.
And you can reach me also on Instagram, Michelle DeSalle, the Wealth Tattletale.
Absolutely. So we appreciate you guys for getting lit, and we look forward to seeing you guys same bat time, same bat station next week. Have a good one.